Good morning, everyone. You haven't probably seen me for a while on video here, as I usually like to go deep in my writing, and especially during the winter when it's much more of this magical portal of going inward with the beautiful feminine darkness that is around us as well. But we're nearing the spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere, which means we're really coming into that balancing point where the light and the dark and the night and the day are coming back into equilibrium. So they're coming back into the equal positions, which means we're also stepping out with everything that has been grown, what has been seeded within, all the dreams, all the ideas, all the insights, what have been swirling within and that have been churning around in our bellies are now really here in the Northern Hemisphere with the beginning of the spring starting to sprout, which means they're becoming visible. And we can really go out there with an open heart, with that sense of connection, with that sense of sharing our gifts, our insights. So here I am now with sharing a few things actually. And what I wanted to share today was just the note that Milky Moon Lab is transitioning into a moon house, and it's a gradual transition. It's actually a very personal transition at the same time, because the moon work and everything what I'm sharing with you has been a personal journey for me as well. Everything what I'm sharing with you is what I'm experiencing on a daily basis, what I'm learning from all my clients and from the people in my community. So it's a very personal journey, and it's really going alongside my evolvement, and my growth is going alongside what I'm sharing. So the whole transition with the brand, so-called, or the name, from Milky Moon Lab, which was very much of the kind of maiden energy, right? The new moon waxing energy of a laboratory, of exploration, of travel, freedom, really this fearless drawing out of everything what life has to offer on the platter. Then the moon house is really transitioning into a different phase in my life as well, which is much more about being grounded and being rooted and being settled, which is sort of really happening with that old transition, which many of you know. I moved from London, or from 17 years abroad, back home, back to the place where I was born. So the whole sense of rootedness and this recreation, rebuilding of my foundation is really now being mirrored with this transition from Milky Moon Lab to Moon House, which is really coming back to my own being in a different and more rooted and grounded way as well, which I hope will serve you, as I really believe this is what's needed right now. Like, this energy is what is needed on Earth and in the universe right now. So I will definitely be sharing more about this, about the moon house and what it will be, because it's going to be something much more physical, and much more kind of connecting with physical objects and physical spaces, rather than just being this sort of virtual place of connection. It's still going to be virtual and online, but it's also going to be kind of really connecting online and offline in many ways. But more about that later. I also really wanted to just come on and share a little bit why this moment is so important, and also about the 28 moon mornings, which is starting in a week. And I've had really interesting conversations with people about that, which have been actually really creating that opportunity for me to ask questions about it and go deeper and really find why am I doing this? Like, what is my why, and why does it need to be in this kind of format? of 28 days of rituals, 28 days of gatherings. And it's very much related to where we are right now, actually, in this very day with the moon. And currently, the moon is in Leo. And Leo is very much the royal king and queen energy. And often we see Leo, or we perceive Leo energy as something which is very expressive outwardly. Like that creativity is offered to the outside world. So in its kind of low vibrations, Leo can be seen as this kind of actor, you know, who just goes on the stage and wants to receive the praise, wants to receive that feedback from the crowd, and that is the fuel. You know, almost like a clown that wants to entertain the crowd. And that is actually what we think about Leo in that regard. That is actually the low vibration of Leo. The high vibration of Leo is so different, and it's so beautiful and so calm and royal. And this is the Leo energy I really want to talk about. So every time when the moon goes into Leo, which is 2.5 days every single month, we have this portal to step into that very particular energy, to really strengthen that inner sun within, that royal power within, really sit on our throne, really come back and return to our seat and take this place that is our birthright, right? So Leo energy is a lot about self-mastery and a lot about discipline and devotion, which seems so different to that wild Leo roaring energy we usually think of. Yeah? But the whole deal about it is that the mature king and queen, the mature leader, actually is truly mastering oneself. It's only through knowing yourself truly, through really devoting to yourself first and foremost, really giving yourself that space and time to tap into your own being, to know yourself, to provide yourself the rituals and the spaces, what you need. That is the foundation we need to truly create something for the outside world. Otherwise, it's just based on this constant need to get something from the outside world, the constant need that is led by ego and really grasping for that praise, grasping for something. And what Leo is actually teaching us, the true medicine, is coming within and nurturing and holding and learning to contain that inner sun, what can be very, very quiet for long periods of time. But it's really strengthening inside. It's really expanding to the point where it becomes overflowing, to the point where you are filled up so much that whatever comes out is this beautiful devotional offering to the world. But in order to get there, it requires for you to create that space. It requires for you to become the master of a self. It requires the time and the determination, the discipline to really give yourself that time and space to tap into you. Who are you? Who are you every single moment? So you know yourself better. You know your wounds. You know where anything is coming from, and you can heal any place that needs to be healed. You can really break through those blockages, because any healing starts from within. We can only offer to others truly and authentically what we have walked through ourselves. So now it's leading on to why the 28 moon mornings is with that particular format, because many people are, asking me, oh, perhaps, maybe it could be once a week or twice a week, or, maybe it could be just less commitment, or maybe it could be recorded. And the reason it is a 28-day gathering, and by that, I'm not saying that you have to actually make every day live. So it's happening in the morning, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 CET, so Central European Time. The reason why it's happening with that particular format, that we have daily gatherings, which you can also carve out time for yourself later, because we all have life. We might have kids or work or anything that we need to hold together as well. So you can rewatch the sessions later, but it's really about creating that time for yourself every single day for 28 days. Because what I'm doing with 28 moon mornings is I'm really opening this portal for you to tap into that particular energy of a day. So it doesn't actually make sense for me to also record those. Yes, I offer those recordings for the people who have been in this group, but I'm not offering them outside of the group, because it really truly makes sense when you are really connecting with that particular energy, with that particular cosmic blueprint, which is available, and connected with your own soul, for your own being, and really understanding that relation between you and the cosmic blueprint at the time. Because what we're really doing here is we're working with the natural law, as above, so below. And when we understand and master that natural law, when we really truly grasp what it means for us, how can we connect with the above and really understand how does the above influence and impact the below, and how can we create that connection? That is the medicine. So that's why it is in this particular format, because the 28 days, it gives us the time to actually go through all the phases of the moon. So it's beautiful because the moon is really the fastest moving celestial body, which means that in just 28 days, we can actually tap into all the energies, all the phases, the waxing moon, the waning moon, the full moon, the new moon, the dark moon. We can really go on and really flow through all those different energetic changes in a very quick time. So 28 days is not actually that long if you think of it, that in 28 days, we can go through all those different energetic phases and the 12 archetypes. The 12 archetypes, which are symbolized by the zodiac signs. And what I mean by that is every single day, we're tapping into a different energy. And although the moon is actually in one sign for 2.5 days, the energy still shifts because everything around it is shifting. Nothing is staying the same every single moment. Every single day is actually precious. Every single moment and every single day is different, with a different cosmic blueprint. Hence, what it tells us is, as the above is changing, also the below is changing. So this is exactly what this container and what this journey is about. I'm really coming to share and open those portals for you. So in 28 days, you can really tap deeper into your own blueprint, which is mirrored by the cosmic blueprint. And that's why it's important to really devote yourself, to really commit yourself to those 28 days, because it's a true soul opening. It's truly about understanding and seeing what parts are really familiar to you and what parts are the ones which you might have resistance to, and that are actually the keys to your power. So it's a very safe, closed container, as we're meeting every day, or you can rewatch the recordings at your own time, because also I've had women who come from the US or Australia, so it's not the morning for them when it's the morning for me. So there has been many women who actually can never join live because they're in LA, and for them, my morning is middle of the night, which means it's impossible for them. And they carve out their own ritual. They carve out their own time. When they wake up in the morning, they have that space where they can receive and work with that information, and most importantly, check in with themselves. Also with the moon mornings, there's actually, I'm using Slack as the channel for the conversation to happen beyond the sessions. So the conversation is constantly happening, the support is constantly there. And it's truly about the community. I'm learning so much each and every time, and everyone is learning from each other. So the community there is so important as well. And we really do this with those live shares and with the Slack shares. And also, you can always, you have a very close access to me throughout the 28 moon mornings, as well as of anytime you have any questions, anytime you need any support, or even you need a one-on-one session, I'm here for you 100% to really go deeper into your personal journey. And after the 28 moon mornings, I'm also holding the container for another 28 days, which is like every day you actually get a little note from me to just allow you, remind you to tap into what is happening. So my wish with 28 moon mornings, and why the format is so important, is that you really get into the habit. You really get into that devotional practice to yourself. And that's why I'm really talking about it and sharing it during that Leo moon, because it's so important for us to come back into our queen and king power, into our true power, like sit back on your throne. We need that right now. We truly need that. As the world, as the universe, it's so needed. So if you feel called, please to join this journey, which is starting on the 21st. If you need any support, if you have any questions, just email me. I'm totally open for everything. I'm really offering it as my own practice very much. So you really have that opportunity to come into my world as I'm sharing everything that is coming through at this time. And these sessions are called the rebirth, because we're really going from the Pisces season, which is the month when the sun is in Pisces, into the Aries season, the month when the sun is in Aries, which is going from the very last zodiac sign, the etheric feminine water, to the very first zodiac sign, the masculine fire energy, when we come back into ourselves fully. So it's truly a rebirth of our own being in a very new way. Who are we now? Who are you now? You can determine that. So I hope to see you. I hope to hear from you. If you have any questions, I'm 100% here for you. And enjoy this Leo moon. Sending you all lots of love.